Hey, check. All right. Thank you for having me. Yeah, that's my grandmother. She actually didn't have the, when growing up in Laos, she didn't have the opportunity to go to school. So her poems, she never learned how to read or write, so her poems are either memorized or improvised. So I was like, whoa, that's so cool. My grandma can freestyle. And so I felt like I have to collaborate with her because she's amazing like that. And so, like I said, this documentary is Travel in Spirals. I actually have a few copies. It's my visit back to where I was born, the refugee camp, which actually got dispersed. But it was my experiences reconnecting with my relatives that were still living in Thailand, and my journey back there. When I was growing up, I was really shy. But at the same time, I was faced with bullying based on who I was. I grew up in Syracuse, and people telling me to go back to where I came from, stuff like that. But the silence forced me to be a writer, writing my thoughts, my feelings. But as I got older, I felt like it was important to have a voice. It was important to speak up and to tell these stories and to educate these people that have these judgments about why I'm here. And so I started doing spoken word, and as I got older, I was like, it's important for me to visit schools because I didn't really have role models to look up to growing up. So started visiting schools and initiating many different projects. So my latest one is it's called Unified Worldwide, which is Hmong language hip-hop CD where I want to reach out to children that grew up in other parts of the world. And visit schools. And so right now, me and my grandmother, because of our great collaboration, many communities have reached out to us, such as the Somali and Native American communities in Minnesota, and saying, hey, can you come and work with our elders and our youth and have them collaborate? And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And it just became this like great inspiration that many communities are also taking up, gathering stories from elders and being able to tell stories through spoken word poetry. So this first poem is inspired by a quote from former Senator Mi Moore in Minnesota. And yeah, she, on her last day before she left Washington, D.C., she said, as a refugee girl running away from a war, an adult told her to keep moving and don't ever stop, just keep moving, because if you move, or if you stop, there's a chance you could die. So she takes on that mentality as a metaphor for how she pushes herself to be successful here in America. Just keep moving, because if we stop, there's a chance our movement can die. And so when I put two fingers up like this, and say, stay free, you're going to say, keep moving. Ready? Keep moving. Stay free? You see, as refugees, we were told to keep running. If we stop, we die, and this applies to the rest of our lives. These memories will exist in tattoos, tapestries, and the broken down bodies that feed our families. Stay free? We stay planted on sidewalks and stand up for beliefs. Take steps across streets to educate our 2 feet grooving. I teach my 2-year-old nephew the freedom to speak in Hmong and English on his tricycle, moving towards a direction of a universe within the jungle gym park. Family first, as fathers get laid off on the brink of losing homes in the sense of contribution just to bring us closer together. We will make it. Students dream of a world with equality while uplifting family. We keep moving forward when we think back to where we came from. We are hands clapping in reverse to cross jungles of trees chopped down by bullets. We see past the leaves that leave behind tragedy. Walk through mortar bomb traps. Breathe for both calms to collapse. We were looked down as worthless. Rusty arms climb to the surface to face fears. To cross streets. Take a step toward balance with each foot planted in 2 different worlds. Stay free. Nurturing urban spoken remedies to grow so we can be gardens for our community. Stay free. We keep moving, that's why we join movements. From memories of Vincent Chin to Fong Lee, stay free. We're living a dream to survive and succeed. We act upon after-school programs that give knowledge to know their own rights. Children of poverty become pissed off activists with unified fists raised toward the sun. Love lost in translation, a nation of immigrants. Refugees must speak and believe. They do not want us to know our own history. The past fuels the present, past for progress. Our presence presented to inspire our future in peace. Power poised to parallel on pace. Keep moving, keep breathing, keep speaking, achieving. Together, we will keep moving. Thank you. I know how to work these. All right. I'm going to do one last piece that represents my history. So, all right. We were warned by our elders. The melodic, symbolic words vibrate through us internally, verbally crushing our senses, bursting to multiple tears felt from our own life years. We call this GCIR. Divine dimensions of eternal stories piercing the thorns of our times, letting it drip down puddles of endless emotions on a cloth we call bandao. Never had a country of our own, no place to call home. We come together for New Year's and soccer tournaments to create our own nation. The passion we have for our families, how we unite at times of devastation, it's sacred, you see. The sacrifices that were made so we could have a chance to make it, so we can even exist. Perseverance of our people through history has to be a mystery. Been through slicing blades or invasions. Been through fatal storms, lightning striking our newborns. Been through the pain that's ingrained in our brains. Been through hot steel penetrating our souls. Walked miles and miles on bare feet. Cold suffering flesh scorched by the sun. With a low life force, all we had our sons, our daughters, our family pride. For those that don't know, it's a dying culture that we're facing. I'll admit that my second tongue has been eclipsing my first since birth, or since first grade, and I've been slowly trying to get my language back. We breathe this melody. Our culture is immortal, generation after generation. We breathe this melody. Remember where you came from. Thank you.